Santa Clarita. Make some noise for Mr. Mike Finley.
Thank you. Here for our host, huh? So I'm coming out tonight as Jewish. With a name like Mike Finley, you wouldn't suspect that. But my grandfather was 100% Russian Jew named Benjamin Feingold. A name couldn't sound more Jewish if it was Michael Feingold, which would have been my name. But Grandpa changed the family name to Finley in the 1940s because he had trouble finding a decent job. And apparently, the jobs that said no Jews paid better than the jobs that said no Irish. Grandpa thought it was hilarious to say Irish things while still sounding totally Jewish. Like I'd be toddling up his front steps and he'd say, "What is this coming up to my house? It's a Meshuggah leprechaun. Come here, you tiny magical Gentile." No one let me in on the joke, so until I was a teenager, I thought that's how Irish people sounded. It was so confusing. Like, why didn't the Lucky Charms guy sound like my grandpa? A bagel with lox and schmear, it's magically delicious. I'm also coming out tonight as black. With a name like Michael Finley, you might actually suspect that, especially if you're into basketball, until you see this face. But like Lizzo, I took a DNA test. Turns out I'm 1% that bitch. It doesn't do me any good, doesn't give me any street cred. It doesn't even make me better endowed because the Jewish side cut off that 1%. I'm also a redneck because I've actually milked goats. I grew up on a farm with a nay-nay here and a ba-ba there. Here a quack, there a cluck, everywhere a cluck-cluck. And I spent my childhood shoveling tons of shit. Does that make me a redneck? Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm an attorney. In fact, tonight is exactly my 27th anniversary of becoming an attorney. Thank you. Thank you. So after all these years, I realize I'm still shoveling shit. I just switched from horse shit to bullshit. Why would a successful attorney get into stand-up comedy? Simple, self-preservation. I'm hoping that when the Illuminati takes over, they'll realize that an attorney-comedian hybrid makes the ultimate court jester. One of the areas that I practice is family law. Divorces, child custody, property battles. It's a crazy field. In fact, I know a great family law judge who decided he wanted less drama in his life, so he switched to hearing criminal cases. Yeah, he'd rather deal with robbers and murderers than divorcees. So now I'm a single attorney dating using these stupid apps, and I find that I tend to attract beautiful, intelligent, interesting women who have legal problems. I should just change my profile into an ad for my law office. Got a legal question? You buy the dinner, I'll bring the retainer agreement. 7 years ago, I became a grandfather myself. Thank you. It was the easiest thing I've ever done. And I was wondering, am I a GILF? You know, a GILF is kind of like a MILF, but instead of a mom, I'd like to hurt. It's a grandpa, I'd like to hurt. Quick question, does a GILF wear boxers or briefs? Depends. So I'm sitting here counting how many people want to have sex with me, and I realize I'm just a grandpa. It's just a guh, no ILF. Probably because I was married to an evil woman. And then I had my family law background come in handy, and I got a divorce. And then I got to be a gilf. I met a cute Filipina MILF who was into the whole gilf thing, and I was her booty call. I was a MILF's gilf booty call. Can you believe that? One night I get the call, I go to her place, we're sipping some wine and getting into it, and she says, "You don't mind if my boyfriend watches, do you?" Then she puts a painting of Jesus next to the bed. And I had just become an atheist. So I'm wondering, how certain am I? Because if there is a Jesus, he is not gonna be happy. So we're getting down, I look over, and Jesus is like this. A few days later on Facebook, I had the audacity to question Christianity's origins. And she got furious. She yelled at me, "You disrespected religion!" I'm like, I disrespected religion. You had us cuckolding Jesus! By the way, those of you who say the Lord's name, say God's name when you climax, you're into gilfs. Because you're saying, "Oh God," not "Oh Jesus." I mean, Jesus is a handsome young hippie. But God is a really old Jewish guy wrapped in cloth. You're saying, "Oh God, oh God." So apparently, what you're fantasizing about is Bernie Sanders in a dress. "Oh, this is wonderful. This should be enjoyed by everybody, not just the upper 1%. I'm Mike Finley, the Jewish, fake Irish, part black, redneck gilf lawyer. Thank you. Have a great night.